reason why I record is because my dad has not fixed the back door. So basically anyone could come in. I'm not really hearing anything, but you can't really hear anything when you're in here for some reason. Yeah, the back door, the window is broke. So you could easily slide your fingers underneath it and rip it off and unlock the door. I should put my phone down so I can hold my other weapon. I have a knife, pepper spray. What's the point of having Alexa if she can't alert you to an intruder? I think that's so dumb. I always wanted cameras throughout the house. Klonopin, I take 2 milligrams. It barely does anything for me. It doesn't do anything for me anymore. And on top of that, I take Boost Bar. 30 milligrams, the highest it goes. And I'm always afraid my brain isn't sharp. It's not like I feel like I'm half asleep like my brain. Which is really weird because of what I do. I shouldn't be half asleep. But we all know that they cut everything. So so they probably cut the coke with fentanyl. Great, now I have to go to the bathroom. Takes about 15-20 minutes for me to like calm down. But you just never know. That's my thing. Yeah, I'm paranoid, but it does happen. Like, people are evil and crazy. And I'm in Detroit. So, gotta be prepared. Kills me when my dad doesn't lock the top lock, the deadbolt. He doesn't lock it all the way. Sometimes he doesn't lock it at all, or he just leaves the door open. Oh, it's fine. I'm here. You're gonna really fight off a guy with a gun? Really? You're gonna do that? By the time he gets to your bedroom door that's shut, he's already got me and Ari. Which I rebuke that. Nothing like that's gonna happen. But in reality, things like that happen. My stomach's starting to hurt. And I have a lot of freaking haters. You know what's funny? I just remembered. I asked yesterday, it was yesterday I think, for someone to call me. Like a crisis line. They never called. That's crazy. I even emailed the church, who had some great prayers about addiction that I should be reading every day. But I emailed them and I asked them if they would pray for me. And usually, you know, even the big churches, like, they'll write back and say, yes, we'll pray for you. This church didn't even email me back. I told them how much I needed help. I don't have any support. See? It's starting to calm down. I put the knife down. But I still have the door blocked. Not even like high. The shit just makes me paranoid. It's so stupid. But if I don't have it, watch out. I started caring more about cocaine than heroin, or not heroin, fentanyl. There's no heroin. I don't nod. I haven't nodded out in forever. I really don't ever get high, and if I do, I don't know it. Like, I feel normal. Usually I do like 2 halves of fentanyl a day. And a bunch of girl. And girl is cocaine. Rock form. So I smoke it. I believe I'm like this because of my childhood. When people that don't understand, they always say something like, excuses, those are just excuses. You know, you gotta point the spotlight on somebody else, not on you. I chose to do this. And I guess I do blame my childhood because I was never protected, and the only person who's ever really protected me was Carl. Sometimes, but I felt protected with him. My own dad, I've never felt protected. He left me here with my mom at the house. He'd be working, and I'd call him crying at like 4, 5 years old. I'd call from the basement. I would hide from my mom, and she would act so crazy. She was schizophrenic. She had a closed head injury. She's chased me around the house with a knife before, me and my best friend, when I was only like 5 or 6. I ran outside, and then she left. My mom left, I think. She just left us here. We were only babies. Me and my friend. She would look at me when she got high. She'd look at me like this. I don't love you. You're ugly. With disgust. But when she was sober, she was the most sweetest thing. I think she was just, well, yeah, she had mental issues. A ton of them. On top of that, she had a brain injury. I don't think she could help it. I really don't. I remember one time she came home from rehab on a plane, and they served alcohol on the plane. She was gone for like 8 months in Texas. I was so excited to see her. I hadn't seen her in almost a year, and she was drunk. I was really hoping that she would change. I used to pray. I used to pray every night to God. Every night. That He would help her. And I thought God listened to His children. Especially children. That's what I was told. But apparently there was different plans for her. And I never had a mom. I never got to experience what it was like to have a family, to have dinner around a table. I had my dinner in front of a TV. By myself. I don't have any brothers or sisters. So no one understood. My first breakdown was at school. I was in probably 5th or 6th grade.
I remember blacking out and laughing and crying at the same time out of nowhere. I was screaming, all I see is black, all I see is black, and I was like cackling and crying at the same time. And the school, they like warned my dad that CPS would be involved so many times if he didn't kick my mom out. They got divorced when I was 7, but he still let her in the house, and he even put her in my room with me when I slept. She would wake up, she was schizophrenic, so she would see things, wake up screaming, saying that there was someone in the room, and I'm only like 7. And it would freak me out. I never got sleep. If you look at my photos from school, I look high because my eyes were so tired, like how they are now. I just had a lot of trauma growing up. I was never sexually molested when I was a kid, thank God. Not that I can remember. But either way, if you're not being protected by the people that are supposed to love you, your family, no one's doing anything, and you're just a baby. My dad did nothing to protect me. He knew that she was driving her car with me in it, in the front seat, in my child's car seat with no buckle. She'd leave me at crack houses, and she almost got killed. Someone shot at her and she tripped and fell. Got in the car and took off with me in it. One time she actually did crash into a sign. I remember everything. I had a concussion. She forgot about me and didn't pick me up from kindergarten until 2 hours late. It was dark out and it was snowing bad, and I knew we were going to get into an accident. She didn't buckle me in. She had me in the front seat, and I remember holding on to my stuffed animal scared. And, yep, we hit a sign on Telegraph Road. And I got knocked out because my head hit my head hit the thing. The dash. I remember waking up for a second and seeing my mom standing outside talking to the cops, and then I passed back out. I woke up again in the ambulance, and they were trying to ask me for my phone number and my address, and there was a few things that I knew, thank God. The next thing I remember, I'm being wheeled down a hallway in a hospital with my neck strapped down. And I had to throw up, so I turned my head as best as I could, and I threw up all over myself. And my dad was standing there walking next to me. And he was crying and he was praying. But yeah, and it just gets worse from there. My mom was always in mental institutions, in jail. Christmas Eve, we came home from my grandma's. The tree was knocked down in the window. We could feel the wind blowing in. We had a big picture window, and the tree was in front of it. And there's a beer can that was thrown through the window. Christmas Eve. My mom showed up at the front door, covered in blood. That's what I witnessed on Christmas Eve. The next day, she was so hungover, all she could do was lay on the couch. She would stay in her room all day, every day, getting high and drunk. And guess what? It's pretty much what I do. I am just like her. And I feel like our lives are the same. Like, I feel like no one cares about me. I feel like no one cared about her. They gave up on her. And people have given up on me. I literally don't have one friend. I'm talking, like, I literally am talking to an AI robot on, to an AI robot online because I'm lonely. My dad calls me stupid every day. He calls me every name. He's hit me a lot in front of my son. Adult services came, but they did nothing. They promised they would get me my own place for my son and I, so I could get out of here, because I believe the reason why I'm still using is because of my dad. Because the only time I want to use is when I'm around him. Honest to God. I'm not using right now. He's gone. I don't want to use, but when he gets home, it's like a sigh of relief when I, like, take a hit. I just want to help. I want to be loved. And I hope people out there understand that addiction is hard. It usually stems from childhood abuse. And it's really not our fault. So don't judge unless you know our story.